Alright, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be looking at not one, not two, but three World of Halo 3 3/4 inch figures. I will address their names as I get to each of them. But this was a line of miniature, what the fuck? Fucking fly, bro. Dude, this fly's been chilling in my room and it's been scaring the crap out of me, I'm not gonna lie. I don't like him. I don't like his guts. He's scaring the hell out of me. Moving on. This was a pretty cool line. It was very flawed. But of course Microsoft killed it pretty much. Their distribution was horrific. This was made by Wicked Cool Toys, who I believe is a subsidiary of Jazzwares. This could have been a much cooler line. This could have been a much better line. But I feel, knowing how Microsoft has mismanaged and manhandled the Halo IP, that they are probably to blame for this. So, without further ado, let's get into it. What the fuck? Dude, this fly, dude, he's really, like, worrying me here. Alrighty. Starting off, we'll look at the Skirmisher here. Now, every one of these comes with a base. They're tiny, you know, it's one of these two. I didn't feel like pulling it out, because guess what? We're going to look at it again anyway. So, this is a Skirmisher. So, for accessories, he, she, whatever, because these ones are supposed to be male or female. Comes with a really weird-looking Mangler. Because I don't remember the Mangler being a protective fucking handguard here. This was supposed to be a double-bladed melee tool, and here it looks like it's just gonna protect their fists from bullets, dude. It's like some army of two shield shit going on here. But other than that, this is a pretty decent replication of it. You know, they even put a little trigger in there, right there, you know. The big-ass drum there. Pretty cool. Mangler was a decent weapon. Moving on to the figure itself. The paint is admittedly a bit flat. I don't know. The figure does look a little flat in terms of the paint, because they're really just the same 3 colors. 2, 3, 4, 5 colors on the figure, which sounds like a lot, but it's really not. You know, you got the beak here. It's decently done. The sculpt's a bit of a 50-50 on these. There's 3 3/4 inch. You know, you got the really great armor plating here, and then the bushy, almost lion's mane-esque locks here. Pretty well done. You got the tiny body here that's covered in the great armor. These are banished members of the banished faction, so they're a mishmash of all the cool shit from Halo. You got the little spike here, both of these arms. You got more tuft of hair poking out there. You got the pretty cool, like, forearm guard, and then the 3-fingered hand that looks like Play-Doh bit, but no, well. And then these cool shredder looking claws here. Then moving down, oh look, we got this cool spine. I love cool spine pieces like that. It's always cool. Pelvis, legs, pretty cool armor there, you know. Really great looking, but that's more so the design of the character, I suppose, than the figure itself. It's decently done for 3 3/4 inch. You know, hind leg, digitigrade legs going on here, a little spike there, nice little 3-digit toes. Alright, for articulation, head is on one of those pin joints there, so it moves up and down, and it can, like, swivel here and there. It's not really a ball joint, but, you know, so swivel up and down. Torsos on, there's a mid-torso ball joint, I think, so it's able to, like, tilt side to side, swivel there a bit, and kind of move up and down a bit. There's also a swivel where the pelvis meets the abdomen. There's another arm joint. It can barely move up because of the fucking thing, and it moves forward and back. Pretty great bend at the elbow, bend and swivel, and then a hinge at the hand. Legs on a ball joint here, but they really only go forward and back, out to the side, very far. Swivel at the top hip there where it meets the ball joint. There's a bend here at the knee, but it only goes so far forward. It's mostly designed to go backwards, and it also swivels too, which is odd. Another bend here at the hind leg, you know, just bend, and it also swivels too. And then lastly, the foot is on a hinge. It's barely noticeable though, so it can go out and it can swivel slash pivot a bit. So the skirmisher, what do I think? I think it's cool. I like playing around and fidgeting with it. I'm sure you could do some cool stuff. The mangler's really kind of fucked, and the overall figure is kind of flat, at least from a color point of view. The sculpt is all good, you know. It's good. I mean, it's not just acceptable. It's a bit above acceptable, but I wouldn't say it stands out or anything. So pretty great, pretty decent. I like it. I like it. Moving on, we have the shit. Oh well. Moving on, we have a UMSC Marine. Starting off with accessories. I don't remember if this is his actual base. There's pretty much two bases in this series. You got this gravel looking base. Now mind you, these are all hexagonal because they're designed to be interlocked with each other. So you pretty much like do that and whatnot, and they connect, and then you can create this whole diorama. But I only have about like, what, 6, 7 of these figures. So moving on though, we've got his assault rifle. This is the one. This isn't like in the first game where it has 64 rounds. This is the modern 343 era, so pretty big. The handguard is way, the hand grip is way too fucking big. It stretches out his hand, and he can't even fucking hold it with one hand. So it's pretty bad. All Halo toys often have this little piece on them. It's so that you can apply it to the back or wherever else they had holes for it. So that's par for the course for as butt ugly as it is. Gun looks fine for being 3 3/4 inch. Always room for improvement, but that's where the bullet counter's supposed to be. Shame there's nothing on it. Handguard, gas tube, barrel, the back where you insert the mag. It could be a little bit more detailed and colored, I suppose, but 3 3/4 inch, hardly anyone ever gives a damn about them, so wish it was better, but doesn't mean it will be better. Moving on to the figure himself. This is just a random unnamed Marine from Halo Infinite, I believe. Either Infinite or 4, I don't remember. So, but looking at him, not bad, not bad. He's got a really weird dotted mustache, or dotted goatee, I suppose. Don't know why, they just gave him a dotted goatee. Pretty bizarre. You got the microphone, the goggles, the helmet. I've always liked the armor aesthetics of Halo. Thought they were cool. Bullet vest, or just tactical vest. You got all pouches and gear on it. And go to the back. There's a hole for the back where you can place his gun. The shoulder pads, the camo suit underneath. I like the little padding here. They paint on the various straps because they don't sculpt them. So, excuse me. The arms are a bit weird. They feel really long. I don't know why. I feel like they're just too long. So, but camo, they're also really big too. This is supposed to be like a human, his forearms are just really big and long. I don't know why. But, you got that piece right there. Let's see, you got some more armoring there. You got the undershirt, but then you also got abdomen armor, more pouches, more armor. You got some thigh armor. It's a little high up though, if you ask me. Some knee and shin armor too, which is really good. As for articulation, head's same as the other one, except due to sculpt it's also limited, so he can look a little, he can't look up at all, looks all the way down, swivels that shit. Arm also limited, but in certain places you can get it to more acceptable, I guess, ring movements or ranges. Bend swivel at the elbow and a hinge swivel at the wrist. The ab articulation on these things ranges. They're either loose as hell, they're looser than a gay guy's asshole, or they're tight as hell, bro. Holy shit, dude. They are clenched. like it's hard to move. Like I can only get a bit of a swivel out of them. I can't get it and okay, hold on, that should be easy. Yeah, you can't get them to bend without breaking in half here. So swivels mostly, and it's redundant because there's another swivel at the bottom, but that doesn't move at all. It's really stiff. Legs go pretty far out, but because the sculpt are limited, they go really far forward, not that far backward. A nice, beautiful double bend at the knee. Oh yeah, baby, let's go. Look at that beautiful shit. And an ankle pivot as well as hinge. So all in all, this is another decent release, I suppose. If you're like me, you know, you like Halo, this is decent for like army building and whatnot. I don't know how good of a price you're going to find it, but they made a lot of packs, including soldiers. This is just one of the single ones, so I don't know if you're going to be able to find any, but hey, that's up to you. And then last but not least, we got a Sentinel drone. Got this one off at Amazon, I believe, for $15. I doubt it's $15 any longer, so, but yeah, here first for accessories. Kind of an accessory, kind of not. Dude, they have this weird loose hole that they expect you to fit the Sentinel beam in, but it doesn't ever really fit. It just, like, see, it rocks back on its own, and it's just, it stays in there most part, but it's just really disjointed looking. It's looking like it's hanging on by a thread. So it's because this is one of the Sentinel beams, I believe. So it looks really good. You know, you got a lot of nice details, fine details there. Again, the paint's not the best. There's hardly a muzzle or a barrel even. But, you know, big, mean space gun, not bad. Now, his stand, it's a mossy green stand, but on top of that, to help him stand up, he comes with this clear stand, this clear plastic stand that helps him stand up. So it's decent. Although I will say it does sit way too low to the bottom. These Sentinels, you know, they don't really just cling to the bottom. You know, if you played the Halo games, they're more like up here at most. Or no, at least they're up here. Usually they're like way the fuck out into the, you know, middle of the air. So I will say it is a bit short in that regard. I wish they made it a bit taller. Would have been nicer. Moving on to the Sentinel itself, you got all sorts of like decent basic shapes, but with, you know, some sculpting. So they sculpted that on there, give a little bit of detail, more detail, get the nice blue eye. It's still very flat. You can even see the seam. So you go here, more details, whatnot. I think the Sentinel beam may be there. I don't know, I don't think so. But, you know, you got the arms, which are really kind of cool. You know, you got the little finger prongs there and the sort of protective shielding around the arms. This one's a little weirder, it's a little warped. And I don't know why, something about it, like the shape just seems off. It's a little warped, I feel, to the one side. I don't know why, it's hard to describe. Then you got the nice two tail tong pieces here, whatnot. I love the shapes of the Sentinels. They're really cool. Sentinels aren't my favorite, but they're pretty cool. Now, believe it or not, this has articulation. So for starters, the arms, pin joints, they go forward, up and down, forward, back, up and down, whatnot. Not very far, and it's sometimes hindered at times because of these pieces here. And then there's a swivel here. Now, when you connect it to here, there's a bit of a swivel and a pivot. You know, you can rock it forward, back, and swing it around. And nothing too crazy, but still. Then you put that in there and pray to God it stays in. A decent piece. It's a static piece, really. The Sentinels, they don't move that much. They'll just float around and fly. Other than that, it's another decent piece. So, all in all, if you like Halo, I'd still recommend these. I still think they're really good and decent, you know. I don't know if there's something you should pay top dollar for, but they fill a nice little niche role, I suppose. Really decent and nice. Well, with that said, I will see you all in the next video. Bye.